going on, everybody? It's your boy Real back with another review, man. Yo, this is The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. All right? Wow, that's a long-ass title. Just like these people's names, but we're going to get into that too. But welcome, come on in. A new series, a new review. Let's get down to business. All right, now, first and foremost, if this is your first time tuning in, if you just saw the title and you got excited, you're like, you know what? I'm just going through YouTube. I see somebody else talking about Ring of Power because I'm just super pumped. Let me see what this dude is. And you landed on this, on me? All right, let me go ahead and introduce myself real quick. I ain't read no books. So if you're looking for some educated shit, some lore, some deep thought, I ain't got it. I apologize. I'm sorry. And I haven't read not one book. So if you ain't sticking around for that, I understand, man. Maybe next time. Okay? Also, I am a person who 100% stands behind the fact that The Hobbit is way better than Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I said it. What? Yeah, I said it. The Hobbit was amazing. Frodo? What? No. Bilbo? Yeah. Smaug? You know how long? I don't even know if I said that name right. The correct pronunciation. But that was my boy. That was powerful movies. Lord of the Rings? Two Towers? Sure. Return of the King? Please. Like, come on, man. Hobbit was consistent. So if you don't like that, I understand that too. You like, God damn it, I can't deal with nobody who loves The Hobbit over Lord of the Rings. You're one of those guys. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. So if you hopping off this ride after that, then I understand. But to everybody else and to my people that's always there for me, I got one thing for you, and we're going to have some fun. Now, when it comes to stuff like this is what I need from y'all. A lot of episodes, I'm going to ask questions. Okay, I might have seen it. I might be confused by it. I might have thought I seen something. And that's up to y'all to clean that up and clarify that for me, man. All right, each one teach one. Put me on. I'm here for knowledge. Don't treat me bad because I ain't read a book. Come on. All right, but if you're ready, let's get into it. So, just most like any other new series, the first episodes, the pilot, the first couple episodes kind of just set the tone for where we're headed for the whole thing, right? And it's a lot of character introduction. So in that same vein, that's how I'm finna give it to you in this review. Now this is what I seen through Rail's eyes. Okay, so and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the story I'm getting, right? So there were elves chilling in Valinor or some shit, right? The big V land, right? They chilling. And it's beautiful. They ain't got no word for death. Ain't been no sunset. It's sunny 24/7. It's like that 30 days in Alaska type shit. So it's just beautiful. Outside of kids trying to ruin other kids' toys. I mean, but I guess that happens everywhere. Okay? And then all of a sudden, some darkness get to creeping up and snatching shit out of nowhere, which I always found interesting. Like, the dark or the evil is, to me, is always like, evil just sits there and goes, you know what? I don't like all this fun. It's no sun. They got no words for death. People just hanging out. Things are just living. I don't like that. They have like no motive. I love how these evil characters have no motive but to like just destroy. They be having their own realm too. They be doing their own thing, just living nice and evilly. There's no rules. Nobody's coming in to police them. And they just like, I'm not satisfied. If I could look over there and see smiles, goddamn it, I gotta snatch the smiles. And that's what a dude named Morgoth did, right? Morgoth? This is the OG. He kicked it all off. Apparently he got fed up with sun and floating paper boats and dancing and music. He hated all that shit, right? So he kicked off a war. The elves got a hold of it and was like, oh no, sir. No, you can't just do that. And they all linked up in Middle Earth and had a big drag out brawl. Several elves were murdered. A bunch of orcs. You know what I'm saying? And I love when you get to kill an orc because it's like that's how they get away with this TV-14 thing, right? If you cut the head off a person, that's rated R. You can't get all your money. You're not gonna get all your viewers. But you can't. You cut the head off an orc. Well, they're not real. They mystical. And I like that little, a roundabout. That little like escape clause in the contract, right? Some shit you could just like get around. So I like that. So that's why I like the orc killing, because you could just get away with a lot. And they blood is black. It's not. It's just not real. It's not, detrimental to people. So they let us rock with that. So that's cool. Okay, cool. I rock with that. Now, so this war is like going on for what seems to be years, right? And we got and then after that, it seems to slow down, but you got a few elves on the hunt, making sure they've wiped out all the evil, right? So Morgoth got taken down. And he's got a homeboy named Sauron, right? We all know Sauron. Or Sauron. Oh my God. Sauron. I'm gonna call him Sauron. I think no. I'm gonna go with Sauron. Yeah. And apologies. And so he took up the mantle after his mans went down, but he's not moving like his mans. He's not. His boy took an L, so he kind of falling back a little. And then there's like this troop of elves that's on bullshit looking for him. Searching out evil, extinguishing it, making sure it don't never rise again. And right now, this is the era we're in. This is the plate that they've set. In this setting, their evil is contained or non-existent or sleeping. But for many years now, it ain't been fucking with nobody. Ain't been no war, and everybody's been in they're past the rebuilding stage. They're in the living stage now. Everybody's cooling out. They know of the story. A lot of them at this time, like the kids and the younger people, that seems like history to them, right? It's not an actual thing. They just know of these stories. The people that was old enough that lived it, they're a little bit more on edge, but they even kind of chilling out. That's how many years that's went past, right? And this is where we at. So I think I set it up perfectly, right? That's the plate. That's what this is all about. The fight, the beginning fight, and the now continuing fight. All right, let's get into some of the characters. Now we see a OG in the show, a young Galadriel, right? I would like to call her Big G if at all possible, because she is very prominent in this series, and I prefer not to have to say that name several times. So when you hear me say Big G, that is Galadriel, and we all know who that is, right? This is a young version of Galadriel, Big G, from Lord of the Rings, before she like turned into this like, I don't know, goddess type entity, right? Where she could get scary at times, but she was super powerful in Lord of the Rings. I remember that much. And right now, this one, she's young, she's a soldier, and she's out for revenge. Now, see, the one we know from Lord of the Rings is a little calm, talking some sense into you or warn you, real soft and sweet and just like inviting. This one is out for blood, and I like this version. I like the young version. And this is really what a story is surrounding, because Galadriel, Big G, her brother, who she loved, died in that first war, right? Got taken out. And she swore that she was going to seek out Sauron and murder him. She was going to continue his journey because he has some like weird carving in his chest. Nobody knows what the symbol means, so please don't expect me to know. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the mark of evil, right? And she made it her life's duty to take it out. And she is the one who leads the small elven army that goes seeks people out. That's all she cares about. Getting revenge, making sure she snubs out all evil from Middle Earth and any place else. Right? And then at the same time, we got another young elven OG. We got young Elrond. Right? Here, he is I don't know, he's more of a, he's calm in this one. Not to say he's not calm and anything else, but this is him before he became hippie Agent Smith. Like, I know. You see this guy, you think Elrond. No. I see him and I think, Mr. Anderson, you help your landlady take out her garbage. And give us a whole monologue about how humans are a disease. And that's who I know him as. That's who he's going to forever be. So Elrond, this is the young version of him before he start harassing Neo and Morpheus and them. And I guess he's is he a builder or he's like a planner? But he's somebody who enjoys the creation of things. Like that's his bag. So we found a little bit of backstory with him and his relationship with Galadriel. They was just kind of like, it was kind of cool. You know, I guess he was the voice of reason for her because she was more hot headed, right? So we got that. That's on the Elven side. We got the Elven King in charge of the Elven shit. Now we got then they take us to some place in Middle Earth called, I don't know if it's in Lindor. I think that's where the elves stay, but there's like this tribe of like just dirty people, dirty forest people. And one of them is let me see, I got my phone here for Nori. Nori seems to be the target of this group. So I'm assuming whatever happens is going to be sent with this tribe is centered around Nori. And they're led by some old black dude named Sadak. Right? So he runs the little village. And from what I get, they just people that live off the land. And Nori is a person, she's a girl who wants adventure. Right? She thinks there's more to life, which there is. She just wants to get out her village. Regular young person shit. She's looking for adventure, maybe to make a name for herself. Just anything. Anything of interest. So she's going places she shouldn't go and taking people with her. So she's a leader. So they set the table up for her as a leader who is courageous and will go break rules to go do shit and willing to risk it all. That's how they set it up for Nori. She's just a dirty child that is willing to risk it all, whatever she got. And they really enjoy berries. I'm not going to lie. When they went back there and they was in that wolf territory, whatever the fuck they was, they made them berries look delicious. And I'm like, yo, I just came from the grocery store. None of them fucking raspberries look nowhere near like those. And they was smacking them bitches. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, so that's the dirty tribesmen of the woods. I don't know, what are they, the Hardfoots? Right, are they called the Hardfoots or the Flatfoots? That's where you helped me. That was a question. Thank you. But yeah, so we got them. They set the play for that. Then we got the human realm, right? And here is the main character seems to be a chick named Bronwyn. And she's just she stays on the outside of town. Her and her son Theo. But I guess the only real thing to her is she's like has feelings for this elf named Arender. Jesus, these names are gonna kill me. Y'all gotta just be patient. I'm gonna get it down packed, but it's been 2 episodes, and Arender is a very exotic black elven person, but he's stationed in that town. That's what I've gathered. And Bronwyn fancies him. And he does her. There's clearly something going on. It's got me questioning Theo. I was looking at Theo. He looks like he got some kind of mixed features going on. I don't know. He's very ambiguous in color. You know what I'm saying? He could be just as exotic as his daddy. And surprisingly, he doesn't know who his daddy is. Daddy gone. But somehow this elf is hanging around, right? But the energy you get with elves in the human realm is kind of like they're the security or they're the overseers, right? Like the humans get to live their life, do their thing, but it's under elven rule in a sense. And it's to keep the peace and to make sure that they're protected, right? But a lot of humans feel oppressed by this. So they looking at Borwin kind of crazy because she's so cozied up with this elf dude. And he is getting a sense of, the elf dude's getting a sense of like, he knows that there's something going on. Like he just feels evil being around. And there was a conversation with the bartender up in the bar where somebody comes in talking about poison grass and sickness. And I guess anything dying, any vegetation, any sick animals is a sign of fucking evil. So that perked up his already pointed up ears. And that's going to be their storyline right there, real briefly, before I get in depth. And then we later in episode 2 see who I came to see. My favorite people are dwarves. It wasn't popping until the dwarf showed up. So Elrond and I don't know. I can't think of the other guy's name, but he's a master craftsman, and they want to build this giant tower resembling something I've seen before, right? I'm not crazy. They're trying to build something that was been built in Lord of the Rings, right? Please help me. That's for you. Fill in that blank for me. But yeah, so they're supposed to construct this giant tower, and this dude wants to I guess it's the world's largest forge, so he could make some miraculous shit with it, right? Like Thor's, like Tyrion did for Thor and fucking, when they went to go kill when he made Storm Chaser, right? So something similar to that, some mystical forge that can make some mystical shit, which I'm all up for. I'm all down for. Problem is they ain't got no workforce. And it turns out that Elrond is homies with the Dwarven people and with the Prince Dorwyn. And that's going to be his workforce. That's what they do. They build shit very well. So there you have it. I think that's all the characters, right? All right, now that we got a layout of the land of the characters, and we got the plate was set for the storyline, now let's get into everybody's little individual thing, what they got going on. And the first, we're going to just start off in the same order. Let's kick it off with the elves. So with Big G, she is out here searching and hasn't found, right? She ran to some snow elk or some shit. Ice creature that was fucking everybody up, right? Took a few elves out like that. But ultimately, she reached the peak of where she was looking, and Sauron dipped. The evil is gone. And when she comes to report this to the king, he's like, we're over it. No more war. There's no more evil. I'm not sending no more elves out on dangerous missions for no reason. See, now y'all just getting attacked by random creatures and shit, people getting hurt, and you ain't got nothing to show for it. Just like any general would do. He said, the king of the elves said, I looked around, you ain't found me nothing tangible that says evil is imminent and it's a problem for us. So it's time for y'all to pack it up. And of course she's not with that. She's not satisfied. She needs Sauron's head, right? She's got to claim that for her brother to show I got you. And we can respect that. She's the one that's actively after the evil. And now the king is saying, I'm sorry. You've had many, many years. Because we know the elves don't age like that. So she's been doing this for I don't know how long. But for a fucking long time. And the king's had enough. He's ready to send them all back to heaven. When she got on that boat ride, my guy, and they was heading back to Valinor, I said, are the elves angels? The fucking sea parted. It got real light. These beautiful bird-like creatures came flocking out, and and it was just and it was so heavenly, like the boat was finna just float up there. It was very intense to just head back home. I'm like, where's Valinor? It took all that to go out there. Okay, but I mean, these are people who, the elves are special, so I guess I get it. But prior to that, Elrond was trying to explain to her yo, I understand you upset, but you're not going to be satisfied is the problem. Let's say he was explaining to her look, you got to understand, you're trying to risk lives, your own life, others, on a mission for no reason. Right? You've got no evil. You scream about this evil, and let's say you're right. Let's say that Sauron is out there and he's actively working and building. Let's say you actually get him. Will you be satisfied? He started digging into her, having her question her life. And she seemed to pause for a second, but just like any stubborn warrior, she's like, Yeah, whatever. I'll cross that bridge once I get there. That's how Big G is giving it up. I'll cross that bridge once I cut his head off. And then I'll walk across that bridge with his head. Okay. And then you ask me how I feel about it. And if I'm satisfied. I may or may not. I might just try to kill every orc. Who knows? But I know what I got to do. And the king really wants her back, really wants her team back. They even did this big ceremony where they get crowned for doing exceptional work. Right? She felt like it was a what's that called? Like a backup prize, like a participation award. Like, I didn't get the job done. You're just giving us golden crowns. You're taking my shit away. I don't want this. It's a participation award, my guy. I want the MVP. I want the trophy. I want the W. But yeah, so they sent her on the ship to head back to heaven. And last minute, she wasn't having it. She had no armor, but she took her goddamn dagger and jumped off the boat off into nowhere. So she's all in. She done broke the king's rule, so I don't know where she stands with the king. That's probably going to be a big issue. Because wherever she lands, she's not going to be greeted nicely by the elves. So she's definitely going to have to find another friendly source. And somehow she ends up being found by this human dude on the size of the fucking, like, door that Jack on Titanic was hanging on the edge of. I'm like, there was space for Jack on that boat. I mean, on that fucking door. Rose is full of shit. She didn't even need all that. That was like the full mattress of doors. And she was like laying in the middle of it. Don't get me started on Titanic. It's so upsetting. Jack didn't have to die. I'm not finna go down that rabbit hole. But dude pulled Big G up on that equally sized door that Rose once was laying on. And now they just thugging it out in the middle of a sea with terrible storms on some shit raft. Like, I've never seen this thing. It's just like a floating hunk of shit. Room for two. Like, that's max capacity on that thing. And we obviously see what's going to happen here. I think this is Big G's love. It's going to be her first love. I don't think that's a hot take. I think they're going to fall in love. He's going to get killed. And she's going to go extra hard. That's my hot take. He's going to die by some type of evil. And she's going to be snatched back. Couldn't do nothing about it. And she's finna carry that shit. So I see that happening. Because he dove in and saved her. And they arguing already. You know. But they clearly attracted to each other. So that's Big G's storyline. And I think that's going to set up for 3. They're going to find land. And she's got to find a place where... Because, I mean, she pressed him quickly. Like, you heard about evil? Evil down south? You're going to take me there. And I was like, damn, the entitlement of elves. I see why the human people don't like elves. You just going to take me up? I'm just going to make you? No. Just because you 700 years old? No, I'm sorry. I got other plans that don't involve getting fucking destroyed by orcs. I just left that place. I don't want to go back. And how many elves you bringing with you? You? No, ma'am. So, yeah. That's going to be those two journey. Clearly, they're going to link up with some other people. And now, Nori's. Let's see what Nori's storyline. So, some galactic bum came down via comet. Right, there was a giant comet shooting out the sky. I don't know what the fuck that was about. And Nori followed it to the landing spot. And like I said, there was some space bum. And he just had on like a pair of Jesus underwear. And that was about it. And I asked for a second, I was like, is that Jesus? Is this where we going with this? I'm like, you got heaven with the elves, and then you got some cosmic being in the classic Jesus fit, some chanclatas and a man diaper, and I'm like, long hair, beard. I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, something to that guy. And Nori's sister, you know, is her protector, much like, what's his name? Like, Nori gives me Frodo vibes. And his homeboy, was it Samuel Tully? Is that his name? Did I get his name right? Yeah, but his best friend, his protector, the one who tried to steer him from danger and like, don't go there, Frodo. Like, you know, that bromance they had. That feels like that's her role to her sister Nori. And Nori adopts this bum and trying to communicate with him, but he's got some mystical shit. He is important to this series in some fashion. I don't know, but he has powers. He likes to eat nuts. He can yell crazy, and he could turn leaves black, which lets me not believe he's too good of a dude. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not seeing the only fact that makes me think he's not completely bad is that Nori is still walking. She's still talking and breathing. So I'm like, well, he doesn't kill children out the gate. So I mean, and in this world, I guess we got to give that some type of pat on the back. Like here, not killing a child is kind of, by the books. It's like, that's shooting for par there, my guy. Like, come on, let's not. He's not he's not a saint because he's not murdering kids. But in this scenario, in this situation, I guess it makes him not a complete piece of shit in Middle Earth. So there's a story to him, and that's where Nori's journey is going to begin. Because when he gets to talking and walking, Nori's going to follow him. And the dude that runs that village, Samrock, he was out there reading the sky, reading shit. So he already knows something is up. And I think that's going to be, he pushed Nori away because she was too nosy. But somehow he's going to like guide Nori. Like, I feel like they're going to tag team some shit. Especially when she introduces him to the galactic space bum. For sure. That's going to happen. Or Space Jesus, whatever you want to call him. He doesn't have a name right now. And Elrond, like I was saying. He needs to get this thing built. Okay, so now let's go ahead to the humans. What the humans got going on. There's no leader of the humans. It seems to be the bartender, which is real sketchy. Like, there's one bar in town, and everybody respects the man who built it. And I'm like, damn, we are easily pleased. Like, just give us some mead to drink, and offer us up some buns. Loaves of bread and a few fish pieces, and this is our leader. I was like, really? We all just succumb to that of the bartender. I was like, all right, I guess. Borin is not the leader. Actually, they looking at her like she's an elf lover. Like, there's a lot of racial hate going on between humans and elves. I don't know. But Borwin is just following behind what I say his name was Arendur, but Theo is the real key to this whole human thing. Theo, when Borin left with Arendur to go check out this, because the dude came with the sick cow, and I don't know why he didn't try it, but Arendur went over there, milked it. Black Gook came out, and I was like, oh, that's not good. I don't know if cows should be producing chocolate milk. I don't know. That might not be. I don't think that's how chocolate milk is made. And that looked like dark chocolate too. Nobody likes dark chocolate. It's too bitter. So we got to investigate that. We got to make sure these cows are providing at least milk chocolate. All right, let's fucking find some middle ground here. So they take off on their mission to discover this land of dead animals and poison. And little badass Theo, he out there with his homeboy, digging up shit, found a half a sword. And it lit up, and now is at a point where it's growing. So that's not good. Because when Borin and them came back, they discovered a tunnel. Arendur went down a tunnel to go see where it led, to see who was digging it. That was sketchy. A lot of dead animals, a tunnel. I don't like it. He's an elf. He's going in there. And before that, Arendur was supposed to be sent back too. His time was done, and come to find out, he was a person who was a farmer before the war. I do like that aspect. I like that the elves had a life before they were soldiers. That gives them a little bit more character to me, because when you see elves as a whole, unless you're the main one, but it seems like they were all built for soldiering. Like, if you look back at The Hobbit, and you look back at Lord of the Rings, who was the bartender for the elves? Who was the cook for the elves? Who harvested the shit for them? Those people didn't exist for elves. Elves were just military based. So I do like the fact that when they had that little conversation between Arendur and whatever the fuck his name is, when he asked him what he was before the war, and he says he's pretty much a farmer. I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. I would like to see an elven farmer. So Anyway, he doesn't want to leave. So it's time for them to all head back home. Well, he's going to Lindor. He's not going to heaven. Lindor, I think, is baby heaven. That's where the elves who we kind of want to bring, but no, you got to like elevate to that level. He's not quite there. But so he, like I said, you go down to the tunnel, and Borin is sent back, and her badass son got some mythical evil weapon that's definitely not good. It's not good at all. I'm getting bad vibes. It's glowing and it's growing, and he ain't saying shit, so that's gonna be a problem. And come to find out, when he was digging, thinking it was before his mama came back, giant hole, and out pops a fucking orc on bullshit. And this orc was not going down easy. Got stabbed up pretty well. Took it like a G. But at the end, Borwin won and brought the head to the bartender because he wasn't trying to hear none of her shit earlier. She was trying to tell him, like, evil is coming. We got to go. We got to run to the elves for help. And like I said, they're not really vibing with the elves. But when you bring orc head, we all leave. So they packed up and go. And that's what lets me know Theo is going to be a problem with that sword. Because like that ring, anytime you put it on, Soren could see you. You know what I'm saying? That eye was in the sky. It's like, oh, there he is. Send the Dark Riders after him. And I think that sword's got the same type of thing. I think the humans finna eat a fat L off the back of little badass Theo. I see why your father left. Look at you. Look at what you're doing. Bringing death and destruction with your nosy ass. So that's not going to end well. I predict a lot of action happening in episode 3, actually. A lot more orc fighting, for sure. And last little storyline is Elrond and his homeboy, Doran. Now, I really, really like these scenes between these two. Not just because the dwarves are my favorite people, and I didn't think it was busting until you bring some dwarves in. A party ain't jumping unless the dwarf is in there. All right, that's how I feel about it. I hear your jokes. I hear it. Oh, real? I heard you were short. Is that why you? Yeah, I'm not dwarven short, my guy. But yes, I can sympathize with shorter people. Anybody under 6 feet, I feel for you. So, But anyway, I like the scene because, he's talking to the master builder, letting him know, like, yeah, no, Prince Doran, that's my G. I'm going to go in. He going to offer us food, all type of shit. It's lit. Just trust me. Come on. And I always found that awkward. Don't be that guy. That's the worst person. Have y'all ever went out with somebody? Like, you ever went, like, out of town to link up with one of your friends? And they tell you, like, no, this is my city. I run this. Come on, we getting in. We ain't got to wait in lines. We ain't got to do none of this. And you're like, oh, shit, it's lit. You get out there, and you find out your boy is just a nobody. Nobody knows his name. What? You waiting in lines. It's not what he hyped it up to be. Y'all paying for bottles. You're regular. Your man's is regular. He hyped you up like he was somebody he wasn't. And that's exactly the energy Elrond came with. Don't be that person. Don't tell your people, man, come on out here, man. I run this city. We good in any hood. And then they come with you and then they get the shit kicked out of them. Like, that's not cool. And I know a few of y'all been there before. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, that Elrond guy. But yeah, set him up for disaster. It was not the love he expected. He was actually met with quite the animosity. And they had to get into a stone bashing contest of endurance. And if he lost, Elrond had to go for good. And I was like, damn, what happened? How did he get his signals crossed? What was his antennas? Why did he think he was so friendly? I was waiting to see this friendship. Like, what was it? And it was at that moment when he was like, man, just walk me out. And they had that talk. I loved that talk. I actually smiled during that talk. It was a feel-good moment. Because I felt bad for him. And Doran was like, yo, you call yourself my friend, but 22 years went past. I done got married. I had not one but 2 kids. You weren't at the marriage. You weren't at the birth. You ain't give me no congratulations. You ain't show up to none of the kickbacks, none of the quinceañeras. You just was what? Where were you? He was like, I know 20-some years is a blink of an eye to an elf, but bro, I ain't got all day. And I was like, damn, I felt that. And Elrond felt that. But Elrond is a slick motherfucker. He said, you know what? I'm sorry, bro. And matter of fact, I'm not gonna stop there. Because this ride to the exit is almost over. We're not gonna stop there. Introduce me to your family. Cause I gotta tell them sorry to their face. And Doran's like, I know what you up to. But I'm gonna let it happen anyway. Cause it's still love there. And I like that whole scene. Elrond meeting his wife all bubbly, full of energy, like finally I would get to meet him. And it just felt like real. That felt like a real scene. It felt like real friendship, real issues. That was probably the realest thing I felt in both these episodes. That was amazing. They hit it on the head with that one. They brought some real life shit to the screen, and it's something that we could all, could link with. So already, Doran's my favorite character. Surprise! I'm Team Dorwin. I'm Team Dwarves. It is what it is. I thought I was going to roll with the black elf. I was like, well, it's a black elf. I ain't never seen one before. I might have to hold it down. But he look a little exotic, so I don't know. But I'll still rock with him. I want him to make it, for sure. I need him to make it. Make it at least out the first season, bro. Don't die the first season. All right, survive. It ain't many of y'all. You're a rare thing, black elf. But, yeah, so it seemed like they mended that relationship. So it seems, this ain't even a hot take, but he's going to convince his father. Doran, is the prince, so he had to go holler at the king. And the king put him on game like, hey, you can't be trusting the elves. I know you think he kind of your boy, but look, he disappeared, now he come back in your life. You just put a little game on him. But yeah, they're probably going to get paid good. They do it well. So that thing is going to get erected, right? But evil is coming. So, hot take, man, I think Nori's village gets raided. And I think a lot of humans die via Theo from that sword. And as far as Big G, her and Homeboy, once they hit land, more arguing, probably picking up some sympathizers on her way to her mission. Well, there's going to be some detours. Because she's got to get a squad together. She's definitely not finna... I don't know why she thinks she's finna do this journey on her own. So she's got a squad to get together. And I think toward the end of the season, they're all going to, link up for one common cause. I see that happening. But yeah, man, that was my Ring of Powers review. I hope y'all enjoyed it. All right, I tried a few little new things here. Hope y'all appreciated that. I'm going to try to do more of this, not just stimulate the audio, but the visual, because I respect that, a lot of people just cut my face off and just listen to my words, straight podcast shit. I respect that. But some of y'all actually sitting there staring at my face. So I figured I got to step it up and add a little something, at least something to keep you visually stimulated. So I hope I did that. And as usual, man, protect your health, yourself, your wealth. Your boy Rail is out of here, man. Peace. Yo, I know I don't need no introduction, but y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Hollywood Rail. And I appreciate you for sliding through and watching these videos. But you know what I need from you? All right, if you ain't already, I need you to like this and subscribe this, man. We at 1,000 trying to get to 2, all right? Push it for your boy. Get them algorithms up. So when it come to that subscribe button,